Hey, what's going on, everyone? What's going on? It is Election Day Tuesday. How many of you got out and voted today? How many of you actually got out and voted during early voting? Those were the smart people. And you know what? I had a friend who reached out to me last week and told me about early voting. And I was like, yes, I need to do that. I need to do that. And I let it come and go. And I am so glad that I have civic-minded friends, because another friend reached out to me via text and mentioned about voting. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't vote. And I was settled where I was. I was settled. I was comfortable. I was ready to not have to be thrown back into traffic. And hi, for those of you just joining. And I had a decision to make, you guys. I had a decision to make on whether I was going to stay comfortable, stay where I was, not get back in my car, not get thrown into traffic, and not vote, right? I mean, it's not like it's the presidential election. Oh, it's not like it's a race for the governor of the state, or, right? No big deal, no big deal, no biggies, right? Wrong. Because every election matters, you guys. I say that all the time because I think about all the people who gave their lives so that we could vote, as women, as minorities especially, and I'm like,
at the next light, turn right.
How dare I act like I'm just going to be comfortable with not voting? Like so many of my family members, not that long ago, did not have the luxury of making that choice. They weren't even able to vote.
At the light, turn right onto Ross Road.
You know what I mean? So I was talking to my cousin and I was like, oh my gosh, I could have voted earlier. I was out and about. If I had just thought about it, or if I had remembered, I could have voted and I wouldn't have to get back out here. And I thought about it, like,
in 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Shiloh Road.
Like, it would be so much more comfortable to just not do it. That would be the comfortable thing to do, right? But what would have made me uncomfortable is the fact that there's so many people who don't get up and go vote when they have the access.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
They have the access to do it. They have the means to go do it. It's not like there's a problem. You know what I mean? There's nobody forcing them not to do it. Nobody scaring them away. Like, we have vehicles. We have people who can, we have modes of transportation that we can get there. We have the time to do it. There's early voting a lot of times now. So,
at the stop sign, turn left onto Shiloh Road.
And then your jobs, quite honestly, your job has to allow you to vote, right? Or give you that time to go and vote. So, for those who are still working 9 to 5s, like, there's just no excuses for us. And that was the thing that really, really drove home for me, was there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Oh yeah, it's inconvenient to get back in my car.
At the next light, turn right.
It's inconvenient to get back in my car and go get in the traffic. That was the thing. It literally took me about 45, 50 minutes to get to the polling location that I had to go to. Okay? 45,
At the light,
50 minutes.
turn right onto Bethany Church Road.
Because of all the traffic. 45, 50 minutes. That was just to get there. Went in, voted. There was no line, thank goodness. And
At the light, turn left.
oh, okay. There was no line. So that was great. But then it took me, I put in the GPS and it was like, oh, it's going to be an hour and 4 minutes to get back to your destination.
Turn right onto Leech Road.
So yeah, I knew I was going to be in traffic, all right? I knew this. But I also knew.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Hewitt Road.
I also knew that not only is it my civic duty and responsibility, but I thought about one of the things that I read in a book that I just finished reading called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. If you haven't read that or listened to it on audiobook, Audible, whatever, just make sure that you do. So one of the things that the author said in there is successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. And that's the slight edge, you guys. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. So here's the thing. We can
At the next stop sign, turn right.
We can continue to do the same things that we've been doing. We can continue to give ourselves excuses. We can continue to, talk ourselves out of getting uncomfortable by staying in our comfort zone. Hey, Christy, how are you, love? Or we can go ahead and move through that uncomfortableness. And I don't know about you, but to me, there's nothing...
At the stop sign, turn right onto Hewitt Road.
There's nothing comfortable about not being able to call your own shots. There's nothing comfortable about not being able to...
In about 5 miles, turn left onto Old Loganville Road.
There's nothing comfortable about not being able to live your life the way you dream of. You know what I mean? Like, we say a lot of times that, we don't like the way the country's being run. We don't like the way the state is being governed. We don't like the way our local cities and counties and, our court system is and that sort of thing. But then we don't do what we're supposed to do in order to change that. And let me tell you something. If you think that what you do doesn't matter because you're just one person, you're part of the problem, because so many people think like that. And please believe one person can make a huge difference in the lives of so many. One person can make an impact in the world. I think that's one of the things that really pushes me and has pushed me ever since I was a little girl. I've always felt like there was something I could say or do to make a difference. Whether it be, befriending somebody who didn't have a lot of friends, taking up for someone who was being mocked or bullied, speaking up when others were afraid to do so, asking a question that others were like, oh, well, I don't want to appear like I'm stupid, or I don't want to appear like I'm questioning authority. Like, that ain't never been my mindset. I've always felt like, look, if I really want to know something, I need to ask. And, I'm going to be respectful, but hey, I'm going to ask. Living on your terms. Yeah. And I don't think there's any reason why we can't live on our terms. There's absolutely no reason. There's enough out here for everyone. But today I just wanted to really drive home that thought process of doing things that make you feel uncomfortable, but it's the right thing to do. You know it's the right thing to do. Don't. One of the new rules, one of my mentors, Dr. Stormy Wellington, one of her new rules for 2025 is always choose higher over familiar, right? We become so comfortable with the familiar. We become so comfortable with, the status quo. We become so comfortable with, well, this is just the way it's always been, or this is the way I've always done it, or, oh, I really don't want to do this. I really don't feel like doing this. I really don't feel like doing that. Successful people don't think like that. Successful people look at what 98% of the population is doing, and they do just the opposite. So why I feel like most people would have said and would have, vindicated me, like, hey, Shay, you just left from driving and being out and about, and now you're finally at your destination, you're comfortable, don't go putting yourself back into that traffic, because now you're getting ready to spend over 2 hours between voting and getting there and coming back, and okay, it's just one election. No, you can't think like that. You really can't. And I gotta say thank you to my cousin. Hey, cuz, you know who you are. Because when I told her, I was like, I gotta get back out there and vote, and I gotta go, all the way over to such and such school, and she was like, well, hey, at least you can get out there before the traffic gets too bad, because if you wait till later, the traffic is gonna be even worse. She didn't say to me like, oh, girl, just stay home, or just chill out, or just relax. Don't get back out there in that no. And you need people like that in your life. You need people like that who, aren't going to let you just, settle, for lack of a better word. Like, you need people who aren't going to let you settle for just the regular, or who aren't going to excuse your excuses. Because at the end of the day, that's really all it was an excuse. Oh, I got to get back in my car. Oh, I got to deal with this traffic. Oh, that's gas and mileage and da-da-da-da. That's minuscule. That's minuscule when we think about the whole reason why we vote. The whole premise behind why we go to the polling locations, why we cast our ballots, why we, get behind a particular candidate, why we decide, okay, this is the person that I want to represent, what I believe in, or what I'm going for. Nobody's perfect in this world, right? Like, none of us are perfect. Everyone is out here living life the best way they know how, based upon what they know, right? So I would much rather get out and vote for someone who comes close to, what I believe in, or what I support, or what I think is best for this nation, this, the state, the city, the county, whatever. Like, I'm going to always look at, rather than political party, I'm going to look at, okay, now what is this person's platform? What are they going for? How does this best represent, what I believe and what I think is right? And I don't care, what color they are. I don't care what Democratic party, what political affiliation they are. I don't care if they're Democrat. I don't care if they're Republican. I don't care if they're independent. Like, that doesn't matter. Progressive, whatever. Like, I don't care about all that. Man, woman, black, white, Asian, Latin, Latino. Like, that doesn't matter to me. What matters is the heart of a person. What matters is, do I trust that they really are, they really have, the best intentions for the whole? Or are they just trying to benefit, a particular section of the population? You know what I mean? Like, or are they trying to make things better for our country in general, our state in general, our city, our county in general, our school system in general? Like, that's what I look for. I can't speak for anybody else.
Speed limit camera ahead.
But that's what I look for. So, yep, just wanted to get on here and share that with you guys. Don't go for what's comfortable. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Don't always take the easy way out, because the easy way out is what most people take. All right. And honestly, there's nothing easy worth having. Anything that's easy is not really worth having, because anybody can have it. And I don't want to have what anyone can just get without any work, effort, thought put into it, anything like that. Like, yeah, if it's easy, and anyone can get it, it doesn't have any value, right? Now, anyone can have success, but it's not easy, and not everybody is going to do what it takes to get it. All right. So, yep. Those are my thoughts for today. I did my civic duty, and I voted. And, yeah, I hope those of you who are in states that are voting today, you got out as well and voted either today or during early voting. All right. Smooches, everyone. Bye.